Oh, look, Bob the Mechanic's been around since 1993, and has been played by a number of fantastic actors. Robert Grubb did most of the tour here in Australia. He did Melbourne, Sydney, and Adelaide, and I've been lucky enough to come back into the role for Brisbane. It was played by the late Bill Hunter in the movie. He was fantastic, and in the original Sydney production it was played by another Queenslander, Michael Caton, who was also fantastic. So, look, Bob's just a lovely, iconic Australian character.
And you described before what Bob's like in the character compared to Elf. Can you run us through that? You said that.
Oh, Bob and Elf. Well, they're both, I suppose, now iconic Australian characters, but Elf gets a bit steamed up fairly quickly, and Bob's a bit like, Bob's a bit like Elf on Valium. Probably he's a bit more laid back, a bit more chilled.
What's it like when you're up there, you're surrounded by those elaborate costumes and all that colour and movement? What's it like for you compared to, say, on set and Home and Away?
Oh, it's just a little bit different actually. In Home and Away, people get paid rather to take their clothes off on the beach, etc., etc. I get paid to keep mine on, but here obviously these costumes are a big part of the show. The costumes and the music are absolutely fantastic, not to mention the performances. But the other thing about this show is, you see a lot of costumes on the chorus and different costumes all the time. They're probably the hardest working chorus in the world, the chorus in this show. They're in and out of costumes, in and out of scenes, in and out of songs throughout the show. And what you saw today, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till you see the show. They are fantastic.
Are you a bit jealous that you don't get any sequins on your outfits?
If you can do a run of this show and finish without any sequins on you somewhere, it's a miracle. So, I get a bit of a rubs off here and there.
What's it like coming back to Queensland and performing on this show for you? It's obviously
Oh,
fun.
look, I love Queensland. I was born in Roma. I grew up in Dirranbandi. I went to school at Mount Tambourine and then at Morris Brothers Ashgrove. I played rugby for West for a long time and for Brothers for a little while, and was lucky enough to fluke a couple of games for Queensland, one against France. So look, I just love Queensland. I spend my life in Sydney defending Queensland, and particularly in sporting events, whenever there's a state of origin or a rugby game or whatever. I'm a Queenslander through and through, and to come back now is just fantastic, because I was dragged into the theatre at the 12th night when the building at Bowen Hills first opened. The very first show in that building was a pantomime called The Rose and the Ring by William Makepeace Thackeray. And I was in that as a horse's rear end, a pantomime horse. I was the rear end of the pantomime horse. A lot of people say things haven't improved much, but I like to think they have a little. But so I worked there and also at La Boite when it was opposite Lang Park. And to come back here to Queensland, where it all started for me, is just a wonderful, wonderful thing that I never thought would happen.
Tell us about the socks.
The socks. When I played Bob in New Zealand, they forced me, or I agreed, kicking and screaming, to wear all black socks. I'm still recovering from that experience. So are the Wallabies, sadly. But when we were in Queensland, I thought it's only right that I should wear Queensland red socks. So the wardrobe department agreed with that, and we were able to get the QRU to send a couple of pairs over. So it's fantastic.
What's your favourite part of the show?
Oh, look, it's hard to separate bits of the show. It's such a good show from beginning to end. I love Don't Leave Me This Way, that you'll see when you see it, and also MacArthur Park is absolutely fantastic. But look, there's not a bad number in the show. Come and see it, you'll love it.
Good stuff.